Hello and welcome to Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. My name is Kayla and I'm the head athletic trainer for the Shippensburg Area School District. If you've clicked on this video, that means that you are looking at our Phase 3 video for the preparation program for the overhead athlete. If you haven't already, feel free to visit our Phase 1 and Phase 2 video and go through those workouts for the first 4 weeks and then hop into Phase 3, which is for weeks 5 and 6. You'll complete this workout roughly 2 to 3 times per week. And with every single phase, it's the exact same format. We go through a dynamic warm-up. We have 3 workout circuits, 2 upper body focused and 1 lower body focused. And then we go through a core circuit, and then we always finish with a cool down stretch session. So as listed here on the right side of the screen is the warm-up that I'd like you guys to go through. Start off with about a 5-minute jog or on a stationary bike, elliptical, whatever you have available, and then go through each of these exercises. Spend about 30 to 45 seconds going through those. If you need a refresher on how to do any of those, reference my Phase 1 video. I go through each of those step by step. Just for the time being, I'm just going to have them listed here for you. Once you spend about 10 to 15 minutes going through that warm-up, we're going to hop right into our first circuit for Phase 3. This one contains 5 exercises, all of which you'll be doing 3 sets for. The first one's going to be a seated row, so grab your TheraBand if you have that available to you. We're going to be doing 15 to 20 repetitions for that. You'll be in a seated position with legs straight out in front of you. You'll wrap the TheraBand around the bottoms of your feet, and then you'll be pulling the TheraBand towards you, contracting those 2 shoulder blades together in the back. You can hold that position for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then you'll return to the starting point. Again, with any of these exercises, feel free to increase or decrease the amount of reps that I have listed there. Those are just kind of a basic guideline for you, but really tailor this workout video to whatever your abilities are, whatever your strengths are. So again, wrap that around the bottom of your feet, and then starting in this position, and then you'll pull back. Okay, and then our second exercise is our rhythmic stabilization. We're just going to have a few different starting positions than what we did before. But with this one, if you have someone available at your house or a friend that you're doing this workout with, you guys can alternate between these exercises. But you'll need someone to perform those rhythmic stabilizations, which basically we're going to be starting out in the kneeling position like we did before with the arm overhead. Your goal as the person in my position is to hold your arm in this position. As the person taps you, they can tap you all around on all different sides of your arm. And basically, you're trying to keep your arm in this position as they're moving it all around you in that way. So that's going to be the first position. The second one is going to be more of a simulated follow through, the deceleration phase of a throw. So you'll be in the same position with the knee out in front of you. For those of you who are pitchers or anything like that, place whichever leg out in front of you that you typically would whenever you're throwing, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. And then you're going to lean forward slightly and keep that arm out like in a follow through phase. You're going to hold this position. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging as the person's tapping you. Start from the shoulder and you can work your way down to the hands and the fingers. Again, but that person should just tap you on all sides of the arm, making it challenging for you as you hold that position. And you'll do each of those for 20 to 30 seconds. 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds on each arm. And then our next 2 exercises, again, are going to kind of go hand in hand. We have the resisted internal and resisted external rotation. You're going to be doing a total of 15 to 20 repetitions of each on each arm. So with the external rotation, again, you'll start with your arm in this position. So you'll already pull back and already have some slight tension on that TheraBand. The farther back you stand, the more you'll have. The closer you stand, the less resistance you'll have. But again, start with this position, keeping that shoulder abducted to 90 degrees. And then you're going to bring that arm up. Slowly blow it down. Again, hold for a second or 2 at the top, and then you can slowly release. Don't let that TheraBand snap back like that. You want to keep it nice, slow, and controlled as you come down. And the same thing for internal rotation. I'm just going to show on the left arm. It's a little bit easier to see. Again, step forward a little bit until you have the tension that you need. And then you bring your arm down. So those were our 3rd and 4th exercises for circuit number 1, and now we're going to move on to our 5th and final exercise. So for our 5th and final exercise for circuit number 1, we're going to be doing the wall taps, whether you have a Swiss ball, a light medicine ball. Feel free to be more sport specific and find like a volleyball for you overhead athletes that perform that sport. Basically with this one, it's going to be exactly the same as phase number 2's exercise. The only difference being is that we're going to increase the amount of time that you perform this exercise from 15 to 20 seconds. Now it's going to be 20 to 30 seconds. But again, feel free to increase that even more if you feel like you want more of a challenge. If the first time around it was pretty easy, you didn't feel super fatigued, feel free to increase that time. So again, as a reminder, I'm left-handed, but I'll show you with my right hand. We're going to keep that arm in a 90-90 position at all times, and you're just going to do small consecutive taps against the wall with that ball, keeping it in place. Don't let that shoulder sag down. Don't let the ball come down super low. You want to keep it up in this position, really kind of simulating those overhead movements, whether that's a volleyball serve or throwing a baseball, anything like that. So again, I'll show you to the best of my ability. This does involve a decent amount of hand-eye coordination, so I'll try my very best to show you properly, but the main focus again is just keeping that shoulder up in that 90-90 position. Okay, so that's basically that's the gist of the exercise, how you do it. So again, go through and complete 2 more sets of each of these exercises, and then you move on to circuit number 2. Now we're going to begin circuit number 2 for phase 3. This one's going to contain 4 exercises, all of which you're going to be doing 3 sets for. The first one's going to be a kneeling ball toss. So in this case, it'd be ideal if you had like a small weighted ball, whether that be like a shot put or a little rubber ball, something like that. You'll need a partner for this one, someone to toss the ball to you. So as the athlete, you'll be in a kneeling position such as this. You're going to be doing both arms, so you can start whichever one you want to. I'll start with my left arm. You'll have your arm in this starting position. The person will be standing behind you. You'll turn around and look at them. They'll toss the ball to you. You'll catch it. And basically what your goal is to try and minimize that deceleration of the ball. As it's accelerating forward, you're trying to catch it and slow it down. So at whatever point you can catch the ball and slow it down is great. And then you'll toss it back, and you can toss it back to the person that way. Again, make sure you're looking at the ball as they're tossing it. It's not a blind throw, so it's not like you're trying to guess where they're throwing it at. You are able to turn around and look at them as they throw it, catch it in the air. As it's coming down, try your best to stop it as quickly as possible and then bring it back up in that motion. Okay? So once you do it on the left arm, or whichever arm you started with, then you'll switch and do it on the opposite arm, and you'll do a total of 8 to 12 repetitions on each arm, and that'll be 1 set. The second exercise is going to be an eccentric throw deceleration. So with this one, you'll grab your TheraBand. I have it wrapped around the wall here. And basically, it's just going to simulate like a throwing motion as for many baseball or softball players, but it's great for any type of overhead athlete. I'll move this up a little bit higher. Basically, you'll be starting in that overhead position. Go into a slight lunge and lean over like you're going to be throwing the ball, and you're just going to bring it down across your body. And then slowly bring it back up. So quick down and across, and then bring it slowly up into that starting position. Okay, so that was my left arm, and then once I was done with those sets, I would move on to my right arm. So for that exercise, you're going to be doing a total of 8 to 10 repetitions on each arm. The last one that we have is a bear crawl, so this is strictly body weight. You're doing a total of 15 to 20 repetitions for this one. You'll be down on all fours with just the feet in contact and the hands. Your knees will be bent, and basically what you want to do is you'll crawl forward, but keep that core engaged. We don't want the hips rocking too much either, and you want to be up on top of yourself. You don't want to be too far forward or too far back underneath the shoulders. So as you can see, I'm in on my hands and my knees. I'm going to lift my knees slightly off the ground, and I'm just going to walk forward. Okay? You can go forward depending on the amount of space that you have available to you. You can go forward and backward, or give yourself plenty of space that you can just move forward the whole time. So again, you're going to be doing a total of 15 to 20 repetitions for the bear crawl. So up with one hand and then up with the other would be 1 repetition. And then we're going to move on to our 4th and final exercise for circuit number 2. Our 5th and final exercise for circuit number 2 is the banded ball slides. They're the same exercise that we did in phase number 2. The only difference being is that we're going to increase the repetitions. So we're going to be doing 15 to 20 repetitions for this exercise. So I have my foam roller here as well as my resistance band. We're going to get started by putting the resistance band around our arms. Again, the smaller and the loop that you create with the resistance band, the tighter it'll be whenever you pull apart. So you can kind of gauge how much resistance that you would like for this exercise. Then find an open wall, whether that's outside or inside. Stick that foam roller about shoulder width height, maybe a little bit taller. Put those wrists here at the bottom. My resistance band does kind of slide up a little bit, but your goal is to try and keep it right above your elbow. And then just going to slide up and down as you pull apart from the resistance band. Squeeze those shoulder blades together in the back, and really focus on keeping those arms apart with the resistance band. So again, perform nice slow control movements with that exercise, and then once you've done that set, and as well as all the other exercises, you'll go through and complete each of those for 2 more sets. Now we're going to complete our third and final workout circuit for phase 3. This one is going to be lower extremity, more focused on that area of the body. So with any type of throwing activity, especially if you think of your pitchers, a lot of power is generated from the lower body first as it travels up through the upper body. So you want to make sure that the lower extremity is just as strong as the upper extremity. So these are all going to be lower body focused. You're going to need some equipment for these exercises, but again, do the best that you can with whatever resources you have available at your house or wherever you're completing this workout at. This circuit is going to contain 5 exercises, all of which you'll do 3 sets for. The first one's going to be a single leg deadlift, so I'm going to grab my dumbbell here. Again, feel free to grab a heavier weight, and with any type of these exercises, modify the amount of sets and reps that you're doing. Make it more challenging, so increase those, or if it's a little too challenging for you, feel free to decrease the amount of reps that I have listed. But we're going to be doing 10 repetitions for each leg. So this one, again, bend the knee slightly. I'm going to start with my right leg. This other left leg is going to be hovering off the ground a little bit. Bend the knee slightly, and then just bend down. And then stand back up. As you're standing back up, really contract those glutes and those hamstrings. This also works, obviously, on some ankle stability and balance. So once you do 10 repetitions on the one leg, you'll switch and do 10 on the other. Our second exercise is single leg glute bridge. We're doing a total of 10 to 12 repetitions for that. So it's just like our double leg glute bridge, except you'll just be doing it on one leg, and then you'll switch over and do it to the opposite leg. So with this one, I'm going to start with my left leg. Keep that other leg straight out in front of me, and then drive those hips up to the ceiling. And like I mentioned, once you do 10 to 12 on the one leg, you'll switch and do 10 to 12 on the other. Our third exercise is box jumps. That one we're going to be doing a total of 10 to 12 repetitions as well. I'm going to be using the bench behind me, but make sure you find a very sturdy object to jump on. Again, with a different varying height, so find a height that is suitable for you, that is not too challenging. You want to make sure this is a safe exercise to do. So again, with this one, be standing in front of it, double leg box jump, bend the knees slightly, and then as you jump up, try and focus on a soft landing. Make sure that you get those legs up high enough that whenever you land, you're not tripping over the board or whatever you're jumping up onto. And then make sure you also completely stand up out of that squat before stepping down. Okay. So that was our third exercise. Our fourth one is going to be a single lunge, or side lunge, with a single leg stance. So we did this in phase 2. The only difference being is I'm going to incorporate a resistance band with this one. So as a reminder for this exercise, you're going to lunge to the side, stand up, and complete this. Once you gain your balance again, come down, stand up. So hold this position for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then you'll come down and stand up. I don't know if you'll quite be able to see it in the video, but I have a TheraBand here attached to this pole. I'm going to face away, that way I can kind of show you a little bit better which leg I'm talking about. But you'll stick your leg into the TheraBand. Okay? So you'll lunge out to the side, and then as you stand up, it makes it a little bit more challenging with the balance because the TheraBand's pulling you back in that direction, but you want to be able to maintain that 90-90 position with the leg. So again, as best as you can, and that's a little obviously difficult to see, you'll lunge to the side, and then bring that leg up. So for the side lunge with the single leg stance, you're going to be completing a total of 10 to 12 repetitions on each leg. And then our fifth and final exercise is a single leg squat. So these can be a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to have the pole here beside me just as a reference to use for stability in case I need it. But this one, obviously, come down as far as you can and stand back up. Some people are going to be a little bit more flexible than others and are going to be able to do that. So it's all up to you. But again, feel free to use a pole or something to hold on to if you need to, and then you'll switch sides. You can do the leg in front of or behind. It's up to you. I prefer to do it in the front, makes it a little bit more challenging for you, but you can also stick the leg behind and across as well. So for the single leg squat, you'll be doing a total of 5 to 10 repetitions for that one. So I do have a little bit of a wider gap for that one, so feel free to choose on the lower end of that if it's a little bit more challenging for you, or if you feel like you can do 10 repetitions on each leg, feel free to do that. But again, go through. Now we're going to move on to our core portion of the workout. As with phase 1 and phase 2, I have 2 different options for you to choose from. Please do just one. You don't need to go through and do both core options. So that just kind of gives you a variety and kind of lets you mix it up a little bit from week to week if you decide to choose a different one. But again, this will be option number 1. This one's going to contain 4 exercises, all of which we're doing 3 sets. start off with is just mountain climbers. So you can do just the standard ones where you bring your knee to your chest straight and forward. Or what you can do is do the oblique mountain climbers, which we've also done in the past, which is bringing that knee to the opposite elbow. So I'll show you both modifications. So the first one is just a standard mountain climber. And then this next one's going to be the oblique. Okay, so with that one, you're going to be doing a total of 30 repetitions, 15 on each side. The second exercise we're going to be doing is V-ups. We've done alternating V-ups, which is a single leg at a time, but these will be double leg V-ups. So you're going to be bringing both legs up as you bring up both arms and chest off the ground. The main focus with that one is wanting to make sure that you keep those knees straight. Don't let the knees bend too much. And then for that exercise, you're going to be doing a total of 10 to 15 repetitions. Our third exercise is the cable chop. So you'll need your resistance band if you have one. We'll wrap it around the pole here. You'll be in a lunge position, so stick one leg out in front of the other. The resistance band will be about elbow height. You're going to stick your arm straight out in front of you, so already applying a little bit of resistance, and then cut across. Twist to the right. So this will be right cable chops. And then what you would do is you would switch sides, face the opposite direction, and twist to the left, and that would be left cable chops. And then you'll be doing a total of 15 to 20 repetitions for each side. Our fourth and final exercise is our plank variation. So you're doing 30 seconds of each of these. Will be 4 different variations. So we have front plank. So just make sure you keep that back level and the hips level as well. Next, we have our shoulder taps. So you'll be in a push-up position. Don't let those hips rock if you can. And you'll just alternate tapping the opposite shoulder for 30 seconds. And then the last two that we have are a little bit more challenging, but it's a side plank with a single leg. So with this one, what you'll be doing is we'll go at a little bit of an angle so more room here. You'll be forming a side plank, and then you actually lift the top leg up. So all of your supporting weight should be on that bottom leg. So this will be a side plank to the right. Again, these are pretty challenging at first, so 30 seconds seems to be too much. Feel free to lower it to 15 to 20 seconds, and then work your way up throughout the 2 weeks if you can increase the time. Then you switch sides, and then lift that top leg up. And this would be the left side plank. So that was our option number 1 for the core circuit. Feel free to do this one, but go back through and complete 2 more sets before moving on to the next one. If you'd like to do option number 2 for core, this one also contains 4 exercises, each of which you'll be doing 3 sets for, so follow along with this portion of the video. First off, we're going to be starting with Russian twist. We're going to be doing a total of 30 repetitions for this. I'm going to grab my dumbbell here. Feel free to grab one as added resistance, but you don't need to. You can do strictly body weight. The main focus is just twisting the core, and it's not as much moving your legs as well. So the legs should be staying far forward as much as possible. Just twist at the trunk. Okay. So again, you're going to be doing a total of 30 repetitions for that. Next, we have toe touches. We're doing a total of 20 repetitions of toe touches. You're going to stick the legs straight up above you. Try and keep those knees as straight as possible. And then you're just going to be doing basically a small crunch as you come up and touch your toes. Next, we have plank up down. So this is a plank variation. We're going to be doing 3 sets of 30 seconds. So you'll start out in your standard front plank, and then you'll come up into a push-up position, and then come back down. So make sure you're alternating, going up and down with different arms at different times, okay? So again, start with the front plank, push up, and then come back down. With this one as well, just make sure you try and keep those hips level, and don't let them rock back and forth too much as you're trying to go from the push-up position back down to a front plank. Our fourth and final exercise is crab alternating toe touches. We're going to be doing a total of 20 repetitions for these. We're starting out in this position, and you're just going to push yourself up off the ground, tap the opposite hand to opposite foot. This one takes a little bit of coordination as well, so give yourself some time and take it nice and slow. Once you're feeling confident, feel free to speed it up. So that was 1 set of each of those exercises. Go through and complete 2 sets, and then now we're just going to move on to our cool down yet. Now all that we have left is the cool down portion of our workout. Spend about 15 to 20 minutes going through the list of stretches that I have here on the right side of the screen. Do roughly 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds, whether that's an upper body stretch or a lower body stretch on each arm or each leg. If you need a reference on how to do any of these, I walk through each of the stretches in my phase 1 video for the preparation program for the overhead athlete, so feel free to reference that video on our YouTube channel. But again, if you do remember a lot of these stretches, just take your time going through them. Make sure you give yourself time after the workout to do that, since stretching is just as important as the workout portion and the dynamic warm-up. But once you've gone through that, again, complete this workout roughly 2 to 3 times per week for weeks 5 and 6, and then you've completed phase 3 of our workout portion of the preparation program for the overhead athlete. Thank you so much for visiting Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day.